to one and all present online. It's been a great and privilege to be part of this 1 week faculty development program on harnessing artificial intelligence for academic and scientific research excellence with the tag of Day 25, which is duly organized by Sita Lakshmi Ramaswamy College, Trichurapalli, in association with SRC Research Colloquium and Internal Quality Assurance Cell of this esteemed institution. First and foremost, I would like to thank the administrative authorities of SRC institution, especially Madam Ali, Principal, Madam Maheshwari, Convener, and also Madam Rama, Co-Convener of this faculty development program, for providing me this wonderful opportunity to be the resource person of very first day of this FDP. With the great inaugural address of the principal, I can understand the privilege and prestigious role of institution in transforming students' lives of those who are coming from several background in Trichy Corporation. So I think SRC institution is going to continuously grow and also to enlighten many lives in years to come, because I can confidently see that how the program is organized and how it is facilitated. Being a resource person somewhere in the corner of Chennai, I can feel the organizing benevolence of such an institution with so many authorities. I am continuously receiving all communication via email, WhatsApp, and also through constant calls. And whenever they were working on the topic of today's program, I still remember all the core details, how they have emancipated it clearly, and how they are requesting to come as a resource person. Everything matters a lot for such a prestigious institution. So as Madam rightly said, it is very evident that SRC is really enlightening and it has a great way to go. With this brief detail that today I really want to get into our presentation with regard to AI in research design. Before that, I would like to see how many participants are active today. I can see 150 plus participants here. Can you all post your department in the chat box? Yes. Hope all the participants have access.
Yes, all of them have the access to post their message in the chat box.
Sarah's left.
Okay, very sorry for this technical glitch. Please bear with me whenever I'm leaving. Don't worry. Please stay patiently. I'll be back in a minute or two. And so wonderful to see several responses in the chat box. I can see that people from different background are actually participating in this FTP. Okay, it's a combination of both arts, humanities, sciences, and also social sciences. Great. And it typically ensures that all of you are active. I want the session to be quite interactive and also very active through chat box, or you can very much unmute and ask your questions and post it. Can I see a very good thumbs up to kickstart today's session from everybody? Yes, super, great. So with this brief introduction, we are going to today's presentation. How I have planned my presentation is with some few slides on describing about AI tools. Then we can directly go with live demonstration. Definitely, I know that it's already 20 plus minutes. Okay, very sorry for this technical glitch. Please bear with me whenever I'm leaving. Don't worry. Please stay patiently. I'll be back in a minute or two. And so wonderful to see several responses in the chat box. I can see that people from different background are actually participating in this FTP. Okay, it's a combination of both arts, humanities, sciences, and also social sciences. Great. And it typically ensures that all of you are active. I want the session to be quite interactive and also very active through chat box, or you can very much unmute and ask your questions and post it. Can I see a very good thumbs up to kickstart today's session from everybody? Yes, super, great. So with this brief introduction, we are going to today's presentation. How I have planned my presentation is with some few slides on describing about AI tools. Then we can directly go with live demonstration. Definitely, I know that it's already 20 plus minutes away from our actual schedule. I will possibly try to wind up in time, or I will take few more minutes with the permission of the organizing team. Can you all see my screen now? Is it visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So when coming to plan of presentation, I am not very keen into so many aspects. I'm just going to show you the overview of AI tools and how AI tools can be used to perfectly craft a research design. And finally, we are going to have a live demo of AI tools. When coming to artificial intelligence, we already aware that it is dominating all the sectors, industry, all the disciplines as such, because artificial intelligence technology as such, it is not a single technology. That is what we need to understand primarily. It is actually a set of technology which primarily includes machine learning, deep learning, data analytics, predictive analytics, forecasting, everything, NLP, and so on. That is why artificial intelligence is very popular. And we all think that whenever we think about AI, we immediately ChatGPT comes before us. But ChatGPT is a very basic AI tool that we are coming across because we are having 100 plus AI tools which are very much efficient than ChatGPT. But again, being a researcher or else as a teacher, how far we need to be affiliated with artificial intelligence tool is the next question which we are going to discuss today. As we all aware, AI has its own considerative um, advantages because it's highly enhanced. Now it is provided with so many efficient resource management, and it is accelerating data driven research and so on. When coming to AI tools for research, I've just listed few AI tools, but it is not very exhaustive. Now, as far as researchers are concerned, we can use AI tools for facilitating our research work. Again, I want to underline this word, facilitating, or we can use AI as a supportive tool, definitely not to generate our research work. So if you're going to have a thought that you're going to generate your research work using AI tool, then that is not a right ethical way of doing a research. You can always keep AI tools as a facilitator for your research work, which we are going to discuss today. As far as we all aware that 73% of researchers report AI tools improve research efficiency. And we always know that research process consists of several steps, right from problem identification, review of literature, identifying a research gap, framing objectives. And when we talk about framing objectives, we can typically draft hypotheses based on that. Once we are confined with objectives, we have to move on with research design. Within the research design, we have several components which we are going to discuss in detail. After framing a research design, we should move on to data analysis and interpretation part. Once done with data analysis and interpretation part, we can further move on to summary of results and finally concluding remarks. Then still we have some more scope to share the future direction of the existing research along with references and so on. This is what research process is all about. So we are just going to enhance our research work and our research process by taking help from AI. Are we going to use AI for writing? Definitely no. Are we going to use AI for generating our research content? Definitely no. Then that is not an ethical stand. Whenever we talk about AI, it's actually doing a better job, and it can easily process even 100 plus 1000 plus papers in a fraction of minute, right? So because of that, we can easily get a better pattern and we can easily understand the research work with utmost clarity. And whenever we talk about AI, and we can use our AI in a continuous process of research, even for drafting, for example, right from literature gap identification, framing research question, and synthesizing all the content, and to clarify our problem statement, everything can be facilitated by AI tool. And we have several tools for it. But all you need to understand is your research question is actually original. You can use AI tool to refine it. You should not directly ask AI to provide research question. Keep that in mind. When we talk about AI powered literature review, again, so many number of papers can be loaded or directly accessed from AI generative tool, and we can visualize each work. For example, you would have already have a Research Rabbit and all, a wonderful tool to use for literature review and for better citations. Now, coming to the research methodology part, I think that is what today's actual topic is all about. We are going to discuss in detail AI to an extent of more than 30-40%. So, if your student or if your scholar would have used AI tool to generate all the content, if you're having an access to Turnitin software, can very much upload it and you can find out the level of accuracy of AI detection through that. So you know what? It is always good that there are some tool available to identify AI usage or AI generative content, because sometime it may go wrong, but most of the time it will analyzes. Can you all see this one sentence? GPT-0 analyzes perplexity and burstiness. How Turnitin detection software is identifying? It just analyzes perplexity. Perplexity is more about a complexity of sentences. And when you talk about burstiness, it is more about sentence formation and structure. So, for example, if you talk about perplexity, just see, if you say that the content which you have written have low perplexity, it is more about AI. For example, the sentence looks very simple, common, and you can easily identify it is written by AI. When you see a statement or a sentence which is having high perplexity, which means high complexity or different language model, it may be typically looks like human version. Can you see here? AI might write, the study demonstrates significant findings which have a low perplexity. So the Turnitin software may identify this is a AI generated content based on the perplexity level. In case of human is going to write, he or she may write, our research uncovers some wild surprises, which means totally away from what general thinking will be or general sentence structure or statement will be. So it has high perplexity, which means unexpected word choice. Now coming to burstiness, burstiness is more about variation in sentence length and complexity. Can somebody tell me, like, A maintain will A maintain average count of words, or human beings maintain average count of words in each sentence? Can I hear some yes or no? You can even type written in the chat box. Okay. Human maintains a very average number of words in a sentence. Okay. Any other guesses? AI maintains average count in each sentence of the paragraph, or human beings maintain average words of sentences in all their paragraphs. Okay. Okay. Very good. Human may not maintain constant number of words in sentences. We may start with a sentence or a statement with fewer words, and then we will write a sentence with huge number of words. Then again we may cut short, or we may maintain the same. Can you see the burstiness example? It is more about, if you are going to identify the AI pattern, if the first sentence got 15 words, second sentence got 17 words, and third sentence got 16 words, more or less, what is the average words that AI pattern has? Can somebody just enter it in the chat box? What is the average words? It's roughly 15 to 16. Now coming to human pattern, what will be the words? First sentence is having 5 words, and second sentence having 23 words, and third sentence have 8 words. Are you seeing any pattern there? Yes or no? There is no pattern. So whenever they are talking about AI detection, chiefly they are concentrating on the perplexity and burstiness content of of the research content that you're uploading with the software. And again, all you need to understand is transparency is very important. If you're using AI tool in your study or research work, you have to acknowledge it. You have to give a proper declaration, right? So you need to be very careful for what you have to use AI and for what you should not be using AI, right? So I think with this brief introductory detail with the presentation, we can straight away move with live demonstration. Shall we? Can I hear some yes or no? Yes. Shall we move on to live demo? Right. So I'm not going to straight away go with the live demo of AI tool. Before that, I'm going to ask you so many questions on research designs. Hope you're all with me. Okay, this is a blank Word document I have taken. Is it visible for everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So just imagine in this blank document, I'm just going to write research design. Okay. So where research design will be, what is the very first step of research process or a research work? What is the first step? Anyone? What is the very first step of any research? Identification of? Yes, you can unmute and talk because all I can see before me is a plain Word document. Identification of?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
identification of problem.
Okay, very good, very good. Yes. I think better I go with the presentation of this particular Word document so that I can swipe and see it. Okay. Now is my screen is visible? Okay. Very good. I can see responses in the chat box too. So identification of problem is very important, and the problem is more or less related to your area of specialization. What we tend to do after identification of a problem? What is the next step in research?
Review of literature, sir, finding the research gap.
Perfect. Literature review. So from the literature review, what you will identify?
Research gap.
Excellent. Research gap. Based on the research gap, what you will frame an end list? Excellent. Objectives of the study. So if you are keen on hypothesis, you can very well post hypothesis also. And sometime if this is not in an interrogative statement, it can even be called as research questions. So if there is objectives are like statement and research questions will be in an interrogative form, right? So now what next? What is the next step after framing objectives?
Research methodology.
Perfect. That is what research design is all about, and that is what today we are going to talk about. So when we talk about research design, what and all will comes to our picture? We know that research design includes several aspects. So what is the very first thing that comes into our mind? I want everybody to use chat box. You are very well unmute and talk. Let it be interactive. You know that this is an online session. Yes. Maybe everybody can contribute one answer for my question. What is the very first aspect that we will define under research design? So research design can be experimental, exploratory, or anything. So now in order to design the research methodology better, shall we work on any one particular topic so that it can be even more better? Maybe shall we talk about, are you all aware of remote working? Have you heard about remote working? Can I hear some yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay, what is remote working?
Survey, data collection.